Hey everybody, how you doing? Today we talk about a movie called Rooftops, and it's kind of weird. I'm talking about this movie. I'm gonna tell you why. Because one, it has something to do with like a little bit of martial arts with capoeira, and I always thought that Only the Strong was the only movie they ever did with this style. The showing the capoeira martial arts style. But Rooftops, I don't know. This could be the movie. It could be this movie that did it first, even though Only the Storm was more of a drama and had more martial arts in it than Rooftops did. But also another thing that's weird about this movie is the director. It's directed by Robert Wise, and that movie is, I mean, that director, excuse me, is so familiar to me. I had to go on IMDb, and when I went on IMDb, I was like, holy fuck, this guy did a lot of good fucking movies. I just never paid attention to the director of it, maybe except for one movie. And his last movie before this movie that he did, well, he did a TV movie after Rooftops. After that, he just never did another movie. But we're not counting TV movie. We count like full length movies. We're not counting TV movies. We count like full length movies. Excuse me, like in the theaters and stuff. But Rooftops, right, was actually his last full length movie. I would say in the theaters or went to a home market release. Um, but the movie he did before this, which is pretty interesting, because this movie was done in 1989. What was his last movie before this? Was 19 if I'm correct, it was 1979. The Star Trek motion picture, the very first Star Trek movie, and that's when I recognized the name Robert Wise, and I was like, holy fucking shit. And even before that, he directed a lot of good movies, man. Even two classic movies, put like this. He even directed movies with Clark Gable in it. The the man Clark freaking Gable, Gone with the Wind. Yeah, that Clark Gable. And he did The Oak Stood Still, which is one of the classic sci-fi movies out there in history. One of the top. If you have a top, let me put it this way: if you have a top 20 of classic sci-fi movies, this will have to be in your top 10 at least. And it was just weird that he directed a movie like The Rooftops. It was just weird though. It's like, really? But this movie, when you read the description, you think it's like a full blown martial arts movie with capoeira in it. It's not. It's not really. It does have a little bit of that, but it's more about this guy who lives on a rooftop, and that's why they call the movie Rooftop. And he have like these friends from the streets. Also, what's crazy? What's crazy about this movie? You may recognize one actress in this movie, Tisha Campbell from Martin. Yeah, she's in this movie. This is like one of her early roles, man. And anyway, let's fast forward. Anyway, he got a group of friends. He's falling in love with this girl, right? And this girl happens to be her family member, like happens to be a drug dealer in the neighborhood. Well, this drug dealer kicks this guy, the guy that lived in the rooftop, kick it out of his rooftop place where he was living at, because he wanted to make this whole building to a crack house. The movie's more drama, man. There's a lot of characters that have their own problems, their own issues, but at the end it falls on this one guy, and again with the girl that he's in love with, but he can't love her like that because she's working for the drug dealer, which is part of her family. But then she realizes, you know what, she don't want to do this no more type of attitude later on in the movie. It leads to one of his friends dying because of the drug dealer killed the guy kid, and that's when he goes out for revenge pretty much, and that's where we get the action elements in this movie really. Rooftop, I feel like it has good acting. The story was good. I just feel like the summary was kind of like misleading because when you look at the summary, you would think it'd be like full blown martial arts. It's really not full blown martial arts. It's just more drama, to be honest with you. Anyway, I think it's a try and error movie. I'm not saying it's a terrible movie, but it depends on what you're looking for. But I say give this one a chance anyway. Over and out.